So my name is Llull. I'm the Vice President and Managing Director for Asia Pacific at Booking.com. And in the next 20 minutes, or 15 minutes, as I've been told, what I will talk about is how we as Booking.com, we see the future trends of travel and how we as a company, we're going to adapt to it. And I will start talking about the connected trip. For us, everything goes to the end of the day to the connected trip. And put it in a nutshell, for us the connected trip is the fact and the idea that we have to be able to deliver to our customers a frictionless and seamless experience from the beginning of the trip until the end of it. Historically, Booking.com has been always focused in booking accommodations, and that is our core business and always will be. But moving beyond, we really want to give a seamless experience to our customers. So today, in the next 15 minutes, I will explain what exactly is the connected trip, for whom it is, and how we're going to deliver it. But before we start, I just want to make a show of hands. Anyone who has booked through Booking.com in the last month, please raise up your hands. Okay, that makes me feel good. In the last half a year? Okay, a few more hands, that's great. Is there any partner of Booking.com in commercial point of view? Colleagues, hoteliers, in any shape or form? Hands up, please. Okay, perfect. For those who don't know Booking, this is our mission. This is what we exist for. We exist to make it easier for everyone to experience the world. And that is very easy to say, but sometimes it's a little bit hard. And let me tell you why. In particular in Asia Pacific, the pace and the speeds of technology and changes that are happening is huge. I've been lucky and I've been working for Booking for 8 years, and I've been working in Europe. I've been managing our business in North America and Latin America. And I can tell you that I've never seen any region moving so fast and being so dynamic as it is APAC. So for us, for Booking.com, APAC is extremely important for two reasons. One, because we are seeing a lot of new developments and new behaviors from the customers that we don't see anywhere else. And for us, it's like being in the future, right? Being in a European company, we see that many of the things happening here are going to happen in a later stage in the rest of the world, such as the super apps, for example. And the second thing that is quite important in APAC is obviously for the amount of business that we are already generating here. And let me show you a little bit how we also see the future. And this next slide is one of my favorites. I really enjoy it. You might have seen it before, but it's pretty graphic, right? It says that there are more people living inside this circle than outside it. And that gives you already the potential of Asia Pacific, right? And that's considering that APAC has an internet penetration still of 52%, which is a little bit far from the Western countries that they are having 70%. So still, the potential that we have in travel in this region is huge. By 2020, it is said that the online travel demand generated from Asia Pacific is going to be already 37% of the total world. And that number can be even higher in the next few years. It's going to be even to the 50%. The domestic travelers and domestic growth that we see in certain countries like Indonesia or India, where the population is actually very big, it's growing very, very rapidly. But also very importantly, the travel between countries in Asia Pacific. That is huge. So in the next years, we consider that Asia Pacific is going to be actually one of the engines of travel worldwide. In terms of Booking, and also only to give a little bit of a sense of how big or how many business we do around 18 room nights booked per second. And that is a huge number. Even in Asia Pacific, we are still delivering lots of room nights per second. And these are lots of travelers and a lot of guests coming to properties and booking attractions or renting cars. So with all that amount of data points that we have, sometimes I've been asked, hey Ansel, can you tell us what are the things that are going to change in the travel industry? And it's, to be very honest with you, it's hard for me because we don't have a crystal ball. We have a lot of data points, but we do not have a crystal ball. But for me, it's also important to think about, and for Booking, it's important to think about not the things that are going to change, but what are the things that in the future won't change. And this is our core fundamentals and what we're trying to optimize continuously. And there are 3 points for us that are very important. The first one is that we strongly believe that customers always want the greatest value for what they pay. I cannot imagine a customer coming to me saying, yeah, I want to pay much more for the experience that I'm receiving. The second point is that we strongly believe that the player that has the majority of the biggest supply possible is in a very well position to be an important company in the travel industry. And I cannot imagine a guest coming to me and saying, yeah, I really don't want a lot of places to book for. I don't want choice, right? So choice is something that we really give it a lot of importance. And the last piece is ease of use. Again, I cannot imagine a guest coming in the future and saying, yeah, I want you to make my life much more complicated, right? So for us, making sure that our product works is in the core of what we do and what we are. So I don't know what are the things that will change. I believe that these are the things that won't change in the future. But most importantly, I do also think that there is one thing that it has to change in the travel industry. And that is friction. And in order to give you a little bit of an example of friction, let me tell you a personal story, right? I'm not a natural speaker, so yesterday I was doing this presentation to my wife, and she told me, if you explain this story at ITB, I'm going to be very mad at you. And I'm like, okay, I mean, she's not in the room, so I will go for it, right? So my wife is great. She's a lovely person. We've been together for 20 years. She's very sweet. She's lovely. And I really love her so much. But at the same time, and let me think how can I put this. She sometimes might be, look, she's an independent, powerful woman, right? Too powerful, sometimes. We've been in England for 1 year here in Singapore, and in March this year we wanted to go to Japan. It was our dream trip, right? We wanted to go there, and I went to her and said, Esther, hey, let me prepare the whole thing, right? I will book everything, I will do, you know, I'm an expert, so I will do the whole thing. And she looked at me like, seriously, you're gonna do that? I'm like, yeah, believe in me. So the trip, it was a total disaster, okay? It was so bad. I don't know why I took a red eye from Singapore to Tokyo, and we have 2 kids, an 8 years old and a 2 years old, that they did not sleep at all in the plane. They did not sleep, nor anybody else. So we were the most hated family in the plane. We arrived in Tokyo, the car that I booked was not there, we had to take a taxi. It was a horrible experience. We get to the property, to the hotel, right? And I'm sure that you guys have been in Japan. It's one of my favorite countries. Great culture, everything works, everyone is so polite. And we arrived to the lobby. Okay, I mean, we're Spanish, right? So Spanish kids, they are a little bit loud sometimes, in particular when they don't sleep. So the mess that we created at the lobby was important. And the bad part is that I went to do the check-in and I go to the counter and the gentleman, very nice, looks at me and says his name. And I'm like, Angel. And he starts. Dude, Ringer. He looks at me and I'm like, poof, finally. And he says, last name. And I'm, what have you been doing? Seriously, now the last name? I mean, seriously? I mean, come on. So I stayed, and I promised that 25 minutes doing the check-in. I've been hotelier my whole life. I'm coming from a family of hoteliers, so I can say that. We have to solve the check-in problem as an industry. But look, 25 minutes at the check-in, and then the gentleman looks at me and says, sir, I'm sorry, your room is not ready, so you have to wait 10 more hours until it's ready. Look, at that moment I had the look of my wife. I wasn't scared to look at her, but it was like, you know, it was like. So I was like, yeah, you plan everything, right? I'm like, yeah, okay. But now, no joking, what I'm trying to say is that still in travel, there's a lot of friction. And we strongly believe that the next technology and the future of travel is going to be to take out those frictions that we have in micro moments in every single stage of the trip. And this is why we want to build the connected trip. Because like it or not, in travel, you cannot unexperience. This is a word that I just made up, but I think that, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. You cannot stop from what you were experiencing when you were traveling, right? You cannot go back. You cannot stop and say, "No, okay, I will start over." No, you just cannot experience. So therefore, for us, which we are a very customer-centric organization, this is extremely important. So okay, what is the connected trip, right? I've been talking a little bit about it. And again, it's a meaningful, seamless experience, and we want to be with the customer at every stage of the trip. So let me, and allow me to make it a little bit more clear. Any trip starts with an inspiration, right? And we have seen that lately, particularly in APAC, people get inspired in different ways. If you take a look at Generation Z, 65% of these travelers, they believe more in a post on Instagram of somebody that they don't know than any publication which is written, or a travel guide, or a magazine. And this tells us already how to inspire the next generation of travelers. We have to do things differently. And that's only the beginning, right? This is the inspiration, the first stage of the travel. The second piece, and this is where Booking.com, we consider ourselves that we're doing kind of a decent job, is when you have to book it, when you have to choose your accommodation, and when you have to book it, which is the second step. But for us, the trip doesn't end there, because there are many more stages. First, plan the trip. So before you're going to do the trip, you want to make it sure that you plan it, and not doing like myself, which I'm so bad at it. But basically, you want to understand where you're going to go, which are the things that you're going to do, and what are the things that you need. And at Booking, we only don't want to bring content for it, which we are, but we also want to provide tooling to the customers that is going to make this planification even better. Because it is said that the success of a trip, 75% of it is how you plan it. Then the next thing is, okay, book things to do, right? Because you're going to a destination for work, for leisure, but you want to do things there. You just don't want to sleep in accommodation. If not, you can stay at home. So you want to, have things to do in the destination. And we also believe that that is going to be very important. Our customers are asking, they say, hey, great that you provide us booking and accommodation, but we want something more. Then is the arrival, which as you saw, my experience was not very good. But that is also important. Arrival, it's been said that 80% of the friction of the trip is in the arrival, because you're going so many times to a place that you don't know, for first time, you don't speak the language, and it's a little bit tricky to get there, and the level of stress which is there is quite high. So we also, through technology, want to help that. One of the most important things is also, when you're there, experience attractions, or restaurants, or the things that you're going to do. And I'm going to show an example of what we are developing towards that. The last piece of the trip, one of the most important, is why we do the trips, right? I do the trips to post in Facebook and Instagram and make my friends feel miserable and look at them and show them how cool I am into the places I travel, right? Well, not always, but sometimes. But that piece is also important. So basically, we also want to deliver products and services, and again, that is going to be with the customer from the beginning of the trip until the end of the trip. And this is what we call the connected trip. So where we are in that in April, where we are in Asia Pacific with this connected trip. One thing that we are already currently offering is called in-stay and extra services. So basically, when you arrive to a property, to a hotel, or wherever you're staying, you can already book certain things that you can do inside the property. If you want to book a spa, if you want to have, champagne in your room, if you want to do a late checkout. These are things that with a couple of swipes and one tap, you already have access, and actually quite seamless. Another of the pieces of the connected trip that we have already there is the attractions. And in attractions, we mean all the things that you can do. We have live 78 cities in Asia Pacific in terms of attractions that you can do. Top one is actually Singapore, King's Gardens, by the way, which is here around the corner. And attractions is actually quite important for us. We're seeing attach rates very, very high, and the interest of our customers to have this product is pretty high. And another thing that we have is transport. And we have three forms of transport. Recently, we have partnered with Grab here in Southeast Asia and with Didi in China, because we really want to give the opportunity to our customers to move from the airport to the hotel in a very frictionless way. What we also have is rental cars. You can go anywhere in Asia Pacific and book a car and rent a car through Booking.com. And the last piece, which we are testing and exploring in certain cities in Europe, is basically public transport. So when you arrive to the hotel or to the airport, you have actually push notification with 3 options, with the price of the 3 options and how long you're going to take. And one of them is hailing a cab, another one is renting a car, and the last one is using public transport. And we believe that these things gives a huge amount of value to our customers. But now here's the point. Who are our customers? And I could speak about international travel or domestic travel, but I just want to mention Generation C, because I think it's very relevant for this region. 60% of the millennials of the whole world live here in APAC, and Generation C is going to happen the same thing. And just a few facts about Generation C. 55% of them think that traveling in their own country helps to understand more about themselves. So they like to travel domestically, and actually they like to do things off the beaten track. They want to try destinations and attractions that are not common. And this is what brings them joy. 34% plan to travel at least on their own. And when you build products, you have to take into consideration these things. 65% think that travel is one of the biggest spend that they're going to have, which is good for all of us, I guess. And they are really interested in sustainability in the destinations and on the properties. So this is in a nutshell for whom we're building this connected trip. Of course, for many more people, and we want to give it access to everyone, but definitely to this generation. And then the last piece, and I will wrap up, is how we do things, right? And how we're going to build it. Because, believe me, having the connected trip is not unique from Booking. There are other many brands that they are also looking for the same thing. But I'm always saying the same thing, right? It's very easy to have a great strategy or a great idea, but the difficulty of it is how you're going to execute it. And for us, there are 2 things that are very important here. Using technology in the right way and culture. And about technology, very quickly, I will mention A/B testing. This is something that Booking has actually been doing for many, many years, where you give 2 versions of the same web page to our customers, and the one that performs the better, it continues in the future, and then we do another change. There has been, in the history of Booking, in the last 20 years, more versions of our app and our web than humans ever lived in the world. When you have that amount of technology and that amount of traffic, it really helps to have and to define a product that is going to be very, very useful for your customers. Another thing that we're investing quite heavily is in machine learning and personalization. This is actually our algorithm for personalization, which I realized I shouldn't show you, but anyways, I don't understand it. Basically, what we're doing is to put machine learning in every step of the trip to our customers in order to enhance their experience, but also to help us in an operations way. Right? For example, we have 43 languages, giving service in 43 languages, and having translations automatically in all the products, we have to use machine learning in order to make it happen. And the last piece, and with this I will finish my keynote, is our culture. We embrace failure, and I know that sometimes that sounds a little bit strange, but 90% of the decisions that we take in A/B testing, for example, are wrong. And we believe on failing fast and learning a lot. Of course, if you fail big and always on the same topic, you do have a problem. But the fact here is that we believe in failing fast in order to make sure that we learn a lot, in order to make sure that the next decision, the chances that we have to be the right decision, increases. So with this technology, with this culture, and with the concept of HIPPOs, which I don't know if you've ever heard about it, which is highest paid person opinion, which we don't have a lot of them Booking, meaning that we are bottoms up culture. Every single person in the organization can bring an idea or a product, and it can roll out if it is useful and if it is backed up with data. So with this culture of failing, with this culture of taking decisions, democratizing decisions, and avoiding single point of failure, plus the technology, we strongly believe that we are very well positioned, together with our capabilities of generating demand, to deliver the connected trip. So in a nutshell, I don't know if we will be the first one. Definitely we're going to try it. But what I'm sure is the next time that I do a trip with my wife is going to be much better. So thank you very much and enjoy IT.